Hey, youth storytellers. Sue Kuntz here. I'm sorry I'm missing the meeting, but I'm up here in Estes Park. I really did want to kind of do a bare bones activity with you so that you kind of get an idea how important it is to hold on to your stories, whether you're getting them from the books in the library or stories that you heard from your parents, grandparents, stories that you're writing. It's a great place to hold them onto just a index card. And that way you can pull them out and pull out the summary from a bare bones story. So I thought I'd get started with a very simple folktale, one that you probably already heard. It's called The Dark, Dark Woods. Pretty soon you should be having an index card in front of you, pencil, pen to write with, but right now just listen to the story and then we'll get started. The Dark, Dark Woods. Oh, I was dared. No, I wasn't just dared, I was double dared. I was double dog dared to walk through those dark woods to that scary, haunted, dark home, grab something to show that I was there, to prove how brave I really was, and head on back. What could I do? A double dog dare? A triple dog dare? I had to do it. And off I went into the dark, dark woods. Oh, it was dark. And walking through those dark, dark woods, I saw that dark, dark house. I walked up to that dark, dark house and opened the door. Inside there was a dark, dark room. But over there, I saw another room. I opened that door. It was a dark, dark closet. And inside this dark, dark closet, there were some dark, dark shelves. On one of those dark, dark shelves, there was a dark, dark box. I grabbed that dark, dark box. I moved out of that dark, dark room and I placed that dark, dark box down. I opened that dark, dark box. I looked inside that dark, dark box, placed my hand inside that dark, dark box. There was a ghost. Okay, that's the end of that story. Now, pull out your index cards. You could have just a small index card like this or a larger one. It really doesn't matter. You could even have it on a half sheet of paper. But what I want you to do with that card is I want you to label it as such, because you just heard a very simple folktale. It's been around for a long, long time, and we always want to give that folktale credit. So at the very top of the card, I want you to write Dark, Dark Woods. There's no author, so no worries about who actually wrote that story down. And then I just want you to go ahead and number 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, skipping lines. I'm going to give you a minute just to do that. While you're doing that, the most important parts of remembering a story is the very beginning of the story and the very end of the story. So go ahead and just put a star by 1 or circle 1. Put a star by 5 or circle 5. And I'll do the same. And the reason why those are important is think of a joke. If you can't remember the beginning of a joke, you don't have a joke. Same thing with a story. And of course, a joke typically has a punchline. If you can't remember the punchline, the very end of the story, that punch to the story, you're not going to have many friends. So you got to remember the beginning of the story and the end of the story, just the way you want them. And then in the plot of the story, the adventures, that can change depending on who your audience is, what you want to do for that particular moment for the story. That's up to you. So 1 and 5 are very important. Okay, so on 1, what do I really want to remember about 1? I could add anything I want to this story. I can take away anything I want from this story. I love the double dog dare or the triple dog dare. I don't want to forget that. So I'm just going to write down dared and then up to 3 times triple dog dared, to go through the woods. And I don't really necessarily need to be putting all the words, so that's pretty much what I wrote. You decide what you want to write that you don't want to forget. The beginning of the tale is important. Now, who's involved in the story? Make sure you have your characters right. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Is it you? It's however you want to tell it. It's going to be me, and it's going to be at Halloween. You know, it is October right now. You can make yours at any time of the day. It could be snowing, it could be raining outside. Make that background environment, scenery perfect for you. Okay? I'm gonna move on to the very end. What do I really want to remember at the end? Well, it's a jump story. I want to make sure I scream. I can't just go, and she screamed, because no one cares. But if you scream, ah! you're gonna make people jump. So I'm just gonna put it in all caps. S-C-R-E-A-M-E-D. Screamed. What was it? Was it a ghost? Was it a spider? Was it a mouse? You decide what came out of that box. I'm gonna say a ghost because it is Halloween. You turn it into anything you want. If you look this tale up, you're gonna find out everyone has their own version. So whatever you want it to be. And I'm going to run out of that home afterwards. So I'm going to add a little bit. Okay, so my 1 and my 5, they're filled. Now I just need to remember what I think is important for this particular story to get through it for my audience for 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to let you all decide. I'll work with it in a small group, in the large group. Decide what you want on 2, 3, and 4. Everyone can be a little bit different, okay? I'm not going to give that away because it's really going to be up to you. If you remember, I have to prove that I brought something back. So it could be all the cobwebs wrapped around me, and maybe I look like a mummy. And so when I prove myself, they don't recognize me because I'm a mummy. So you can add anything you want, all right? Once you're done, you have the bare bones written on here. This is a card you want to hold on to. Put it into a little file, okay? Not just someplace where it's going to slip out and get lost. I have about 60 cards. If I can't remember a story for that time, I can look into my Scary Stories file, and oh my gosh, I've got like 30 of these. 30 wonderful tales I can choose from. So it's a great way to start your collection. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.